What's up, SGDI family? My name is Youssouph N'diaye.
And I'm Shama Shazam, and we are the host of SGDI Talks.
And today, joining us, we got two amazing guests. We got a great topic on hand. It's actually going to be a topic that we're going to really get into. A lot of people talk about this.
Yeah.
I want to say it's controversial, but I think it's worth talking about. But before we get deep into the conversation, we got to let them introduce themselves, as we always do, and then we're going to get right in. So, welcome, ladies.
Hello. My name is Amina, also known as Made by Mama on Instagram and Mama's Eats. I'm a hairstylist, I'm a chemist, and I'm a caterer as well, representing Gambia.
Ew.
Okay, Gambia. All right.
Hi, I'm Dusu. I'm a college student in my last year, thank God. And I'm representing Sierra Leone and Guinea.
Okay, 2 for 2.
I represent Senegal and Gambia.
I represent Haiti.
Yeah.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we are going to get into this topic. The topic for today is, can money buy happiness? Right? So, like, that's something that a lot of people, talk about. There's a lot of people, they want it for the right reasons, wrong reasons, however. So we're just going to hop right into it. First, the question we want to ask you guys is, do you think that money truly is the root of all evil? Like, what's your take on it?
Go ahead, decent girl.
Yeah, I do. I think like when we also just think about like what's going on in the world, a lot of the root causes of all the problems that we have is money. Yeah. I think money shows you people's true colors.
Especially when you see celebrities nowadays, they're always on a high when they first start out, but everybody always crashes eventually, most of them, majority of them. And it's like, especially when you don't come from much, when you have all that money, all that power, all that influence, sometimes you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just not always good if you can't manage it. And it's hard to stay steadfast when you have a lot of money because you just don't know what to do with it. So you start getting into things that maybe wouldn't have gotten into if you didn't have the money.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here a little bit. So they say that certain things can be utilized in a good way and a bad way, though, right? A hammer, you can build a house, or you can smash my head in. You feel me? So do you think, or if I could put out that thought, that money is a tool, more or less, and it really just reflects the person who uses it, or just like you said, bringing out the true colors of somebody, because we've seen several different times where someone who's come from nothing, get money and achieve that and really bless other people. Like somebody off the top of my head that comes to mind is Tyler Perry.
I was gonna say
that. Like he tells his story all the time. He used to live in his car. But the amount of people that are household names now come from, him and his stage theater and all the plays that he used to do. But then, of course, there are other people who, Donald Trump, born into money, and I don't want to get too political, but I don't really like him. Like, I don't really think he does anything really that great for people, per se, that doesn't, isn't beneficial to him or whatnot. So, I don't know. I think it's very controversial. It changes play by play, right?
And I think the key word that I believe you said it. This is we said it exposes you for who you are.
Yeah.
But even in that sentiment, if money exposes you for who you are, ever seen somebody who don't have much but they're always giving? And it's like, man, that person, that says a lot about their character. So imagine that person have money. Now you can only imagine what he would do with an abundance of money. Just the same way how some people have money but they're stingy.
Yeah.
But they're kind of, you can see that even within them not having much, the little that they always were that person.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So that's why I think it's a slippery slope with that type of thing. But there are some people that can argue all the time that the people that scream money isn't everything don't have money.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on that? Like when people that say that don't have money, so they don't know what it's like. So it's easy for them to say money doesn't buy happiness.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. I think the people that say that don't have any money, like when I say that money is everything, because I don't have any money.
I'm not trying to laugh.
Because what? I'm not gonna act like I don't steal Instagram content. Wow, like those bundles are really nice. Do I have money for bundles? No. But you know, it would be nice to have it. You know, so sometimes you kind of try to downplay something that you don't have.
Yeah.
Because it's not attainable.
We be hating. We be hating.
You be low-key hating. You know what I mean?
Hello.
Like
Like
they say,
that.
like the evil eye. It's not always like intentional.
Yeah.
But it's there. Like
Yeah.
somebody can see something and want it, but that doesn't mean that they don't want you to have it, but they just want it too.
Mm-hmm.
Type of thing. So,
I like that. That was really good.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys think that having money solves all problems?
No.
We've seen countless examples of it. One of the ones that like really resonates with me was Robin Williams. You know, like even for me as a host, I think about like just how much giving he was both in just his joy, you know, and to know that he was in a dark place. Like he had countless movies, and these are movies that are being played over and over again. You know about royalties, like. He's good, you know. Some of these Mrs. Doubtfire staples, you know. So he's good as far as money wise, but to know that he was such a dark place that he took his own life, you know, it just goes to show you, like, yeah, but there are certain things that need to be not just resolved, but nourished without money too. And I think a lot of people glaze over those with our constant pursuit of wealth.
Even to your point, you see that point you just made, and obviously I want to be mindful because you mentioned how he took his own life.
Yeah.
I remember one time I went to get something just at one of the pharmacy stores, and somebody was just, I'd be having conversations with people, but I remember the guy at the counter just saying that the people that come here for medication the most are people that got money.
Yeah.
There's basically rich people
Yeah.
that got the most issues or have the most symptoms, and I was just thinking like, yo, ain't that crazy how we aspired to have what they have, but most of them would just want their regular life back. So does that give you guys a different perspective, just knowing that although we see them as the, you know, like that's the bar right here, but if you ask any of them, they would trade that in just for peace, just for family, just for how many people they said they didn't have a childhood. They just wish they could have just went to the movies, just things that we do, but we deem to be not enough. So what type of perspective does that give y'all, just knowing that they go through that?
But yeah, I feel like we always like people are always reaching for something that like can be attainable. So we're always looking for something that we don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in that case, I think that's why it's like the people who don't have money are always trying to reach for money, and the people who have money are like, it's not really on that. Like I like their counterpart. But yeah, I definitely agree because like if I had like I lost my mom like a year ago.
Sorry to hear about that.
So it's like if I could like trade all the money I ever had access to for ever, I would do that. So like it really doesn't solve all problems.
Right.
It solves a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
I feel like it's about being content.
Yeah.
Nobody is
I like
ever
that word.
content.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever like as humble as most of us can be. Nobody's ever really content.
Yeah.
There's always something more that you want.
Right.
Even if you have the family, you have the kids, you have the cars, the clothes, everything. There's always something missing. Always. So that's what I think it is. Everybody wants to switch lives with somebody. Everybody always thinks that somebody's doing better than them, you know, and there is always somebody that's going to do better than you, believe it or not. So, yeah.
When you said content, the crazy part about it is one person came to mind, Will Smith. Like he talks about it all the time as far as like his pursuit of success or whatever that is. And like it drove him to do this and do that and do this and do that. And like, I mean, we clearly see all the drama that keeps going on with him and Jada. I feel bad for him too. I ain't gonna lie, dog. But like they often talked about like in their earlier stages of their relationship, like he's getting all this to please her, and it's like, fam, I don't even want that. Like that's not what I was looking for. So it just goes to show you, like, yeah, that content thing is for some is very difficult. You know, for others probably it's a work in progress. But content that's a really
And
good
I'd
word.
rather honestly have contentment,
Yeah.
the ultimate contentment over happiness. But before I even get to that, I do want to focus on that word happiness, just because we saying, can money buy happiness?
Yeah.
So just take away money. What does happiness look like to you?
Yeah.
Like if somebody was to ask you, what makes you happy? What is happiness? That could be a type of job. That could be a type of family. Like whatever it is, describe what happiness look like.
If I had the perfect job, the perfect spouse. I mean, not perfect, but like a good spouse, a good job, no health problems. That would make me happy.
That's a big one.
All my family's okay. Everybody's doing well. That would make me happy. Food on the table. Just everybody being good would make me feel good as well. You know, having a good relationship with God would make me feel good because at the end of the day, that center is everything. That's the center.
Absolutely.
And no matter what religion you are, when you lose your focus on God, you lose a lot.
Yeah, it affects.
You lose a lot.
Yeah, it
and
affects a lot.
You can tell that your mood goes down. For me personally, I know every time that I pray, I feel so much better. Or I feel a relief. I feel like, okay, for right now, my problems are not here. Until I pray again and I'm like, okay, another relief. You know? So it's just about that consistency. No matter what faith you believe in, just be consistent. Like, even if it's 5 times a day you pray or you pray morning and night, consistency will help me be happy. Just having that routine.
I like that.
I think also for me is like traveling. I love traveling. I love visiting new places, trying new foods, seeing new people, doing all that. And like, I find that a lot of the times when I'm abroad, like outside the US, that's when I'm the most happiest. But that's also the times that I haven't had to worry about work or school or anything. So yeah, I just be out and about living my life.
Outside.
It's the best when you're like in La La Land. It's the best feeling. Being on a...
Sha, I want you to answer that too, though,
I
bro.
think for me, so like I'm a MC, right? So I do a lot of like weddings and baby showers and stuff like that. And you know, I've always been, I would think that I'm pretty entertaining and funny myself. I think for me, true happiness is being in that moment of joy and laughter and happiness. Like, I wouldn't say I'm constantly chasing it, because I'm constantly attracting it. Like, I like to, and then when it's there, I like to live in that moment and expound it as much as possible. Like, it was a joke that Cat Williams said a while ago in one of his stand-ups. He was like, yo, you gotta live your life. You gotta get like 7 laughs a day. Like, even if it's all at once. Ha 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 ha. Like, that's the type that I go nowadays, you know. And you realize that too, that I think a lot of people are after that too. You know, a lot of the comedians or just funny pages, they get the most followers because everyone's trying to laugh, the stress away. Everyone's trying to, you know, escape their problems for a little bit. So I really do, and that's my true happiness. Like, every time I host, like, I have a great time. It's work a little bit, but I'm truly happy.
Another thing that makes me happy is helping people.
Yeah.
When I see everybody around me is happy, I bounce off that energy, like you said. So if I'm in a room full of like laughter, like
just
joking,
positive
everything,
energy.
that makes me feel so much better because it's the people that people see me and be like, oh, you're always smiling all the time, you're always positive all the time. When I'm by myself, I be thinking about all the negative things. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, everybody can be so positive and affirming about you and what you do and stuff, but how you see yourself,
It's important.
we are harsh on ourselves.
Yes.
So harsh.
Yes.
And yeah, you could be positive around other people and stuff like that, but being happy once you're alone in that room by yourself when you go to
can't
sleep,
fool yourself.
it's
You
difficult.
can fool the whole world. But you
It's
can't
so
lie to yourself.
difficult, yeah.
And I think even to just add piggyback to what y'all was saying, I keep going back to the word contentment that you said. I actually really love that word because the minute I start to look for contentment in things, it makes you appreciate what you get and finding something good within it. Because a lot of times when we're not satisfied, it's because we always worry about what's next to the point where it's a cycle. And once we get there, instead of reflecting or being in a moment, it's just like here we go
The
again.
next thing,
And I think that was my biggest thing, especially now being, 29. I started to get to a point where I want to just showcase more gratitude and appreciation.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger, all you do is just think that subconsciously you act like you're going to be here forever.
Yeah.
The way we think, the way we go about life, when you start to, like you mentioned your parent, when I start to see sickness or losing people or just things that's happening that's just close to home. It's one thing when you hear about it on TV, but when it starts to hit home, you just start to realize that, yo, I may not have this amount of time left. So the worst thing I would do is to look back and say, yo, I survived. I wasn't even living. I've seen so much people. You talk to older people, it puts you in so much of a different perspective. I love talking to older people. When I see them talk about regret, it just makes me catch myself that, yo, I'm slowly doing the same thing right now. And I would hate to look back and say, if I would have known, I would have did more. I would have traveled. I would have been more present with my family. I would have told the people who I love that I actually love them. So now it's just about giving grace that we talked about, being more present, and just, like I said, gratitude. Like, if you find gratitude in everything you do, it's not going to feel like a burden, or you're not going to be so hard on yourself, because everything is like, you know what, it could be worse. And we also got to remember that we also prayed to be in this position we're in. We're so quick to forget. But once upon a time, I wanted to have this. Now that I have it, I'm complaining. But I'm like, God just gave me everything I wanted. Now I just want more. So now that's where you got to constantly check your ego and be like, yo, am I actually being grateful for what God is doing for me?
No, facts.
But I feel like it's easier said than done. It's so much easier said than done. Like, even in school, one semester you're like, okay, I passed chemistry, I passed anatomy and physiology, I passed thermodynamics, all of that stuff, and then you're like, all right, next semester, God keep blessing me with A's and B's, and just let me pass, period. You know what I mean? It's always something else. Even though you can be like grateful for everything that you have, like the food that you're eating today and everything, the people that are around you, you still want more. Everybody wants more.
That's where you got to do the work, though. Because think about it. How much times where if maybe somebody died and then it hit you like, yo, like, I really got to get it together. Then you go back to it. But those are the moments where you really got to be intentional. Like, it don't always got to get to worst case scenario.
Of course.
So when you start to see that pattern, that's what I'm saying. This is advice for myself. I had to learn that. I learned from last year, taking the whole year off. Like, tomorrow's really not promised. And I don't want to be in a position where, because right now, we all knew we had a month to live. We would be doing some things you never thought we was capable of doing. I'll be the manager 24/7. Like, so I'm like, it's just about being intent. That's the hard part, even though it's easier said than done. But it's everything is about the effort you're willing to put into, like, all right, even if it's writing it down or telling yourself, like, no, we got to, and it's okay if you mess up, but just keep on trying to be better. Keep on trying to apply yourself. I think it's worth doing that because, listen, I ain't think 30 would be here that quick, but now it's like,
boy, I'll tell you this right now, it's going to sneak up on you. Sneak up on you. Because I'm 31, and
okay.
But no, trust me. Like 2 weeks ago, I was 20 something. Understand? Like it goes that fast. But something that I've learned to realize is that, especially when you're in your 20s and whatnot, you put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and it's like you get to the point where you just gotta accept everything, like all of it. You know, like. Just like you said, with people want more. Yes, I know I want more, but I'm still gonna have gratitude while I'm here. Yeah, like you gotta balance it out and accept it all, because then that's how you. Because you do want to actually have ambition. Just also be okay with one thing. I'm pretty sure y'all could probably attest to, whether it's in your business journey or school, or even school with you, even with you as a whole. If you know you gave everything you got to something, you can live with the result. Yeah, facts. You beat yourself up when you know you half-assed something. Yeah. I know semesters where I failed. And I had the audacity to come. I'm like, but I didn't go to class. I know what I did wrong, but when I know that I was studying, I went to tutors, I did everything I could do, you can live with the results.
You feel more at ease. I did my best.
So
that's what it is.
I'm going to throw in an even more controversial topic on top of the controversial topic. You can call it a controversial sandwich, if you will. Okay. So, do you think you could be, and I'm speaking to the ladies, right? Do you think you could be happy with a spouse who's making less than you?
I don't know. Like, I think
it's okay. Be honest.
Yeah. The people need
say your piece.
Authenticity.
I don't know. With wage gaps and everything, you should make more than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a point, but that depends if you're in the same field, though.
Yeah.
You ate a little bit.
Depending on the field and depending on the careers, it's
more
different.
time you're not going to be with somebody that's in the same field.
Yeah, that's true.
What about you? Do you think you would be happy with a spouse that's making less than you?
Yeah, I could be, to be quite honest. Because for me, it's not about how much you make. It's about what you do with what you make. So I need somebody that's responsible and takes care of business. No matter how much money you make, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, we'll be fine.
I like that bar.
Because I also work very, very hard.
Yeah.
I do what I gotta do
Yeah.
to maintain myself,
Yeah.
do things I like, take
Yeah.
care of the people I need to take care of.
Yeah.
So as a man, going back to being traditional, as long as you take care of what you need to take care of, then we're fine.
For example, rent. Right? Let's talk about it. They gotta
Okay,
pay
with
rent.
specifics.
Yeah, get some examples.
Okay. Yeah, pay the rent.
No 50-50
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, I don't believe in 50-50.
Yeah.
All these, like, all this social media thing where, like, split the bill, all that when you go out.
No.
Okay.
No. It's either I'm gonna pay for it or you're gonna pay for it. There's
Right.
not gonna be any 50-50.
But
We can go
when
out.
you paying for it, that's going to get.
No, I'm not talking about the bills. I'm talking about if we go out to eat or something.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you consider
for
that,
example.
okay, I see.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
like maybe we go out one day. I'm like, oh, I'll pay for it. It's cool. One time you want to pay for it. It's cool. When it
Okay.
comes to the bills, I would like my man to pay the rent
Okay.
because you are the
That's
man
respectable.
of the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could pick up other stuff in the house.
Yeah.
I could do grocery. I
the
could do
miscellaneous
car
stuff.
insurance,
Yeah.
water bill, whatever the case may be. But the rent, the roof, over
The
our heads,
establishment.
Yeah.
The castle, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My man put me
Yeah.
here, so my man gonna pay the rent.
I think I'm a little conflicted on it, right? Because I am the type of person that I want to be the provider. You know, I want to, you know, have my hands in making sure that everything goes well. But something that I'm learning, which is crazy to me, because business has really been teaching me a lot of just life too, not just something that I've learned in business though is that, like, though I might be the leader, doesn't mean I need to do anything or be the expert of everything.
Of course not.
Right? And so, like, it's morphing it a little bit, but yeah, I would definitely want to be the one that makes more, you know, and what you call it, more. But then, am I gonna stop myself from being happy with a woman, knowing coming in if she has a career that makes more than me? I don't know if I would, if it would go that way.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, I don't know. I really don't know. It would have to be on case, but I would very much want to be the provider. But
That's the
I
idea.
also know that what I'm capable of doing as a man will be providing still, right? Like when you said you want somebody that's responsible to say, like, I know I can lead, right? But for instance, if I have a team of people who are doing certain things, this person might be the expert on marketing. Doesn't necessarily mean I have to be, but I do have to manage the whole ship and how you go about doing things. And so being able to manage and be the leader of your household is something that is the top priority for me.
The crazy thing is, I talked about this one time when I was on somebody's podcast, and when they posted a clip of me talking, I got, what's the word? Start with
Backlash.
obliterated. How you say that word?
Which one?
Like they basically attacked me.
Obliterated?
Backlash.
Yeah, because I guess they was trying to say, like, you sound so political. You sound, and my whole thing is, that's what I like about social media. You know when they take a piece of clip, but not the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you just heard that
Context was
part.
out.
I'm like, I always lead with. You see how you say like tradition? I do things from an Islamic standpoint because I'm Muslim first and foremost. So everything I do, that's what I oblige by. But they didn't see that part, so they just seen the part when I was going in. My whole point is, I understand my duties as a man from that perspective, and I do have to provide and protect. And I also understand with this climate of dating, whatever the case is, I don't like to say date in your league because I don't want to insinuate that that's saying you're not qualified or in a bad, because we're so quick to use words to be a negative thing. But if I understand I can't provide for a millionaire right now, I'm not going to try to marry somebody who's a
Right.
millionaire. You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
that simple. That don't mean I'm less of a man. That don't mean I'm insecure. It's just me understanding that I'm going to be with somebody that makes sense. And if I can provide and protect, that's what I'm going to put myself in because that's my duty as a man. However, it could be a woman, like you said, that don't mind that. But that has to present itself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get upset if she feel like, well, I can't be with you because you don't make the same amount of money.
Yeah.
That's how the ebbs and flows of life go
Yeah.
sometimes. So
Put yourself in a better position.
yeah,
You know,
so that's why I wanted to be careful because people like to take. Like, it was people on there like, oh, you just saying that. Don't say that as a man. You just, I'm like, come on, bro. Y'all got to listen to comprehend.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to just go viral for saying something you just probably think you're saying that makes sense.
for sure.
That's my
I feel
stand.
like nowadays it's very, very difficult because guys will see you for like from the outside, right?
Yeah.
A guy will see you and say, I can't afford her. Girls don't ever say stuff like that. Like, oh, well, maybe you'll say that he can't afford you, maybe kind of like in the back of your head, but guys will say stuff like that. Like, I can't afford to take care of her. Like men that want to be providers, things like that. That's why a lot of them shy away, some men that are providers. I feel like that shies them away from like marriage, from dating, from settling down, because they feel like, do I have enough to offer? Do I have enough to put out there to provide for her, to make her happy and stuff like that? But I feel like don't ever judge a book from the outside. You need to really get to know a person, because a woman can have the best designer things, take care of herself, maintain herself, but she doesn't want much from you but a partnership. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It really depends.
But can you see how that can be such a conflicting thing for both sides, though?
Yeah.
You know, especially like right now we talk about it often, where we live in a time when we are the most connected, but yet we are the most disconnected, right? Like, I think a lot of that comes with communication, but with so much forms of communication, why are we still missing the mark? You know, with all of this, like, we get it all the time where people just see and they don't wait to get explained or anything like that. But then we can also say too is right now there's a lot of narratives being pushed, and I think that also causes confusion. It causes people to be a little bit more hesitant. Like I talk to guys all the time, and I ask them like, why didn't you just walk up to her and say hi? And I was like, yeah, bro, but like, you know how, and it's so much more things going on in heads now to come correct.
And I think like, even for example, if you're in a relationship and your girl or your guy tells you, I'm okay with this, like, I'm fine, I'm content with where we are and everything like that. Then you go on Instagram and you see another couple doing this, that, and the third, and you're like, no, I need to do more for this person. Or, you know, you're always sizing yourself up. Everybody beats themselves up a little bit, you know what I mean? Even if your partner's not asking for that, men will still feel pressured. Oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. Even if she's content, you know? So, God forbid she's not content, and you're getting even more pressure. And it's a constant battle, because we're exposed to so much stuff on social media.
It is.
All different walks of life. And a lot of people put out that perspective that the relationship is perfect, the job is perfect, everything is perfect. And we try to attain that. But we have to remember that people only put out what they want you to see.
Exactly.
And like also going back to the communication, I think like social media and just the presence of social media can often like distort this like also question of, can money buy you happiness and everything? You're always going to feel that pressure from social media, so at least try to eliminate the ones
The
that
unnecessary
you can control.
ones.
Yeah. I definitely want to thank y'all for taking y'all time, come all the way out for this episode. This was a thought-provoking conversation. Y'all actually took it beyond what we could even think of, so thank you guys for that. This is what we like to do. We like to bring conversations that not only make sense for us, but for the people watching as well, because it's always good to have perspectives and insights, and you guys did just that. So thank y'all so much. Sha, appreciate it always. You know,
Come on, man. We do what we do. Somebody got to do.
And for everybody that tuned in, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the constant support. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to SGDI Talks. We appreciate your continued support. And if any of the conversations really resonate within you, make sure you subscribe. Aside from subscribing, make sure you share this content with anyone you think will benefit from it. Again, we appreciate your continued support, and let's continue the conversation.